how to live. That's it. Just how really we should live this life. I don't know what your favorite songs are. It's very difficult for a European to like American country music, but I like one song, which I suppose as a pastor I'm not supposed to like, and that's called Old Dogs and Children and Watermelon Wine. And why I like it is, I don't know about the watermelon wine because I haven't tasted it, but old dogs and children are two of the lovely things that we have in our world that God has given us to show a little of his own heart. And when you see a little baby, I'm better on old dogs, but when you see a little baby with tiny little fingers, I mean, you just are amazed at those little fingers. You just cannot believe that anything so tiny and so dear and tender could exist. And our dear God, who has made us, has given us little babies like that to say to us, I made that. I made the tiny little finger. If you like that, you will sure like me. That's it. That's why he gave us little things like that. I'm better on the little dogs because I had a little Yorkshire Terrier and I didn't have a baby. But a little Yorkshire Terrier, when you see them and you see them lying on their backs and just dying to be tickled, and then you suddenly realize God made that little thing. And the only reason he made it was to say to us, look, I'm dearer than that. I'm dearer than that. If you've enjoyed yourself with that little dog has only a tiny bit of me in it. If you saw all of that in me, you'd love me. And that's why, loved ones, God has given us all these things. You know, these lovely flowers. Those are nothing compared with him. Or the fragrance that you get from flowers when you smell them in the springtime, they're nothing compared with the fragrance of him himself. And that's what we've been saying. All this world around us is here to express what God himself is like. Because he's hoping with all his heart that you'll see that all these things are just things. And they're all going to go. And they're all going to disappear. And they're all a very poor expression of what he himself is like. And that you would love him if you got to know him. And that we are meant to get to know him. And we're meant to have a personal oneness with him, and we're meant to enjoy him. In fact, here's the truth. What we need is not just food. And actually, you know that yourself in your own experience. I mean, you know you've had food and you've had food. You know food that you bolt down. Even the psychologists tell us that. Food that you bolt down or somebody throws in front of you, well, it kind of keeps the blood flowing. But boy, it doesn't do half the good that something that your mum lovingly made you and sets before you tenderly and with care, that does something else for you. And actually, you know, it's true in most of the experiences we have in this life. I mean, you've ridden a bike, a motorbike, and then you've ridden a motorbike. You've driven a car, and then you've driven a car. You've gone out with a person, and then you've gone out with a person. In other words, all those experiences give you a lot more invisibly, if they're right, than just the particular thrill you get from them on the surface. It really does seem, doesn't it, that in this life, there are things that you get from people and things and the world itself, and then there's a deeper something you get from them. And of course what we've been saying is, that's actually what we need. We need that deeper something. And the world here of things and people around us is only the surface thing that we need. Really, it's all here to reveal to us our dear Father, our Creator, and that what we need most of all is Him and His friendship.